He was invisible to most people. Every morning before dawn, Samuel wiped the lobby floors of Hartwell Industries, one of the biggest corporations in the city. He was in his 50s, quiet, with kind eyes and hands roughened from decades of cleaning offices that smelled of coffee and perfume. People passed by him as though he were part of the furniture. He didn't mind, not really, until lately when the silence began to ache. He worked nights so he could take care of his sick wife during the day. Linda had been diagnosed with a heart condition a year ago and the medicine bills kept rising. Samuel's pay barely covered rent, let alone treatment. He was tired, but he never complained. His faith in kindness, though bruised, still lived somewhere inside him. One cold morning, he went into the executive lounge to clean. The smell of roasted coffee filled the air. He wiped the counter, then moved the heavy espresso machine aside to clean behind it. That's when he found it, a small, crumpled note tucked under a paper cup, half-stained with coffee. He almost threw it away, until he noticed the handwriting. "Does anyone ever ask you how you're really doing, M?" Samuel frowned. The words were simple but heavy. He unfolded the paper fully. Below the first line, another message was written. "Sometimes even those at the top feel unseen. If you find this, tell me, how do you keep going?" He looked around. No one was there. The lounge was silent except for the hum of machines. Samuel felt something stir inside him. Whoever he was, they sounded lost, just like him. That night, instead of throwing the note away, he took it home. Linda was asleep, her chest rising weakly under the blanket. Samuel sat beside her and read the note again and again. It felt like the universe had accidentally dropped someone else's heart into his hands. The next morning, he wrote a reply. "You keep going by remembering who needs you. Even when no one sees you, someone loves you. That's enough. S." He folded it and tucked it behind the same coffee machine. He didn't know why he did it, maybe because he felt like helping whoever had written the first note, or maybe because for the first time in a long while he wanted to be seen. He forgot about it until 3 days later. When he went to clean again, another note waited. "Someone loves you. That hit me harder than you think. Thank you, M." From that day on, the notes continued, hidden behind the coffee machine, traded like secret messages between two souls who'd never met. They talked about life, loss, exhaustion, hope. M confessed he felt trapped by expectations, by the weight of a life everyone envied but few understood. Samuel spoke about the quiet dignity of working hard even when no one noticed. Sometimes M's words felt so personal they made Samuel pause. There was something lonely about them, like they came from someone surrounded by everything except love. A month passed, then one day the note stopped. Samuel checked behind the coffee machine every morning. Nothing. He waited for weeks, feeling foolish, until finally he told himself it was over. Maybe M had moved on. Maybe he'd been writing to a ghost the whole time. Then something else happened. One Friday morning, as he was cleaning the marble floor of the lobby, the security guard called out, "Hey, Sam, big meeting upstairs today, every department head in the building." Samuel nodded. He didn't care much for company gossip, but when the elevator doors opened and the tall, silver-haired man stepped out, everyone froze. It was Michael Hartwell, the billionaire founder and CEO of the entire company. The man whose name shone in silver letters above the glass doors Samuel polished every morning. Michael Hartwell never came down from his private office on the top floor. Yet here he was, walking through the lobby, looking around as though searching for something. His tailored navy suit looked expensive, but his eyes looked tired. He stopped by the coffee machine. His hand brushed the counter right where Samuel used to hide the notes. And for a split second, Samuel saw something flicker in the billionaire's eyes. Recognition, sadness, maybe even hope. That evening, when the building emptied, Samuel went to clean again. He wasn't sure why, but he checked behind the coffee machine one last time. There was a note. "Dear S, I never told you who I was. I didn't know how. Your words helped me more than you can imagine. You reminded me that people still care even when life makes us forget. If you ever want to talk, meet me in the rooftop garden at 8 a.m. tomorrow. M." Samuel stared at the letter for a long time. His hands trembled. He almost laughed. "Rooftop garden me," he whispered to himself. But something in his chest told him to go. The next morning, he wore his cleanest uniform and rode the elevator he'd never used, the one that said executive access only. The security guard raised an eyebrow, but Samuel just held up the note. When the elevator opened, the rooftop garden unfolded before him, a peaceful place high above the city, filled with blooming flowers and a view that stole his breath. And there, standing by the railing, was Michael Hartwell. The billionaire turned. For a moment, both men just looked at each other, the janitor and the CEO. One wore polished shoes, the other worn-out sneakers, but their eyes told the same story. "You're S?" Michael asked softly. Samuel nodded. "And you're M?" Michael smiled faintly. "Guess you found my bad handwriting." They both laughed, awkwardly at first, then quietly, like two old friends. "I started writing those notes on a day I almost—" Michael paused, his voice faltering. "Let's just say I was in a dark place. Everyone wanted something from me, money, results, power, but not one person asked if I was okay until your note." Samuel's throat tightened. "Sometimes the world forgets we're human, sir. Doesn't matter how high you climb or how low you start." Michael nodded, eyes glistening. "You reminded me of that." They talked for hours about life, about loneliness, about how success can feel like a cage and poverty can feel like a battle. By the end, neither of them felt like strangers anymore. Before Samuel left, Michael stopped him. "You said someone loves you, that's why you keep going. Who did you mean?" "My wife," Samuel said, smiling gently. "She's been sick, but she's my reason, always will be." The billionaire was silent for a moment. Then he reached into his pocket and handed Samuel a card.